It's 2025 and Samsung believes it's time for a rebirth of thin phones. But that's the philosophy. There is a reason that thin phones kind of just waned into oblivion and nobody talked about thinner phones because battery size was increasing and thin phones just died. I remember there was a phone called the Canvas which was in the Micromax series, 5mm thin, and that never just flew off the kind of response people were expecting. It never got that kind of limelight. But Samsung thinks that bringing slimmer phones is really the trend that's going to be for 2025 and the years to come. So I have with me the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge, the slimmest flagship right now that you can have in the market. But yes, they've trimmed down the size. They haven't compromised that much on specifications, but spending almost a lakh on a phone like this, who is the buyer? Are you? Remember, this is not a review. This is just a first look at the phone. We'll be giving you an in-depth look at the features that the phone has. We will not be giving our comments or any sort of reviews of the phone because it's important to know we are still under embargo. The reviews will come very soon, but just let's look at the phone and what it offers. So first up, the design, the most obvious headline-making feature of the Edge. 5.8mm thin, almost as thick as 6 credit cards stacked on top of each other. That's how thin this is. And I don't think there's any phone right now that can match up to this kind of weight class because it's so thin and comfortable to hold in the hand, and to believe that there is a lot of flagship hardware that's packed into this one. But just because it's thin doesn't mean that Samsung has compromised in any way on the sturdiness, because it is still titanium frame, and also the glass is offering you a robust ceramic protection, which is just an upgrade over the last iteration. Plus the basics have been covered. You get these sharp buttons and also the USB Type-C port, the stereo speakers and the micro SD card slot at the bottom. The conversation arises, if people are looking to make phones more thinner, why even have the micro SD card slot? Because tech is moving to eSIM, and I think Samsung should consider this one. Rest, I think design-wise, it's absolutely a gorgeous looking phone and also very lightweight. You won't even feel it if you put it in your pocket, and I think that is an advantage that this one has. Talking about the display, again, the thinner form factor doesn't take anything away from the kind of display quality and the experience that you get, because this is also a big display. It's AMOLED QHD+, and the best part is it's a flat display, so the gamers or content consumption will be great, and not a lot of bezels right here. Moving on to the performance. Now Samsung, the best part here is, and I wanted to highlight this, they haven't compromised on any of the performance features, because even this one runs on the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, which also powers the S25 and the 25 Ultra, which is great. You also get 12 gigs of RAM and multiple storage options. But let's just keep that aside. Focus on what really matters. Because Samsung really pushes its AI narrative here, and AI has been bundled into this one as well. You not only get Samsung's native AI features, which are also in the flagships, but you also get Gemini in this one. Now, I've been using them, experiencing them, and I feel that yes, it will dynamically change the way you use your smartphone. But again, not a review, not any of my comments here. I will reserve all of that for my final review of the phone. Rest, you are getting 7 years of software and security updates, and Samsung also offers you extra security with its Knox features, and I think in terms of flagship capabilities, this phone stands right amongst the best. Now the camera on the rear again is a big one indeed, because 200 megapixel primary sensor, which again has a bigger sensor overall, gets in more light as Samsung has said. So image quality itself is going to get much better. However, we will not give any judgments on the picture quality because we cannot right now. But again, a primary sensor and an ultra wide sensor is what you are getting. No telephoto, so you miss out on some extra capabilities of the camera, but still I think it's a very capable camera system here. On the front, you're getting a 12 megapixel sensor. Now here's the qualm I have. You have a 2025 flagship and you're still using a 12 megapixel sensor. I don't know the quality right now. I mean, I know it, I've used it, but I cannot tell anything about it. But in terms of numbers, there are companies in the market that are offering you 32 megapixels, and Samsung is still stuck on the 12 game. Why? We'll find out later. Now moving on to the battery. Imagine this phone is 5.8 mm. So ideally you would expect that the battery cannot be a lot, and it's kind of the same case because 3900 mAh has been compressed into this form factor, and I think it might be less. Because imagine you are using phones today that have battery capacities of up to 7000 mAh. We've seen it in the T4, the Z10 from iQOO, and also there are phones coming up with 10,000 mAh and having almost less than 4000 mAh. Will it be enough? Now, these are some of the questions I'll have answers to in my review. I've been using the phone right now as my primary driver, and I'll have all of these answers coming to you, whether it will last you the entire day, how fast is the charging, because right now it's supposed 25 watt charging, but how fast is the 0 to 100 charging on the clock? All of the answers will be coming to you very soon. Oh, by the way, it also has wireless charging. So to sum it up, this is the first look of the S25 Edge. Reviews are coming very soon, comparisons also coming soon. But again, till that time, ask yourself this question: a phone this thin with flagship features, is it really for you, or is it something that you can, just look away from and go for the flagship? Ask yourself this question, and I'll be back with more content right here on Fiiber. Take care, guys.